Hello, everybody. Hang on. Let me try to get this thing. Nope. Don't want to do that again. Okay. Hang on. Let's try this. Ta da! There we go. And why is this still here? I'm sorry. My thing is being ridiculous right now. Me? Okay. I don't know what's going on with this. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with my program. It was being a little kooky. Anyway, hi. So, it is what's tonight? Thursday night? Thursday. It's almost 11. And I am just chilling. And that is the wrong one. Meant to do the smaller one. There we go. So yes, I had a quite fun day today. I am knitting, obviously, just to show you where I'm at on this. I am now on the third row, so I've done this like dark purple, I've done the red, and now I'm doing the pink, which actually on the pattern I switched the pink and the red just because I thought the colors flowed a little bit better. Um, just for anybody who has not seen it, that's what I'm knitting, except right here, this pink and this red, I swapped those two. So it's not going to have this weird, like, darker one in the middle of it. It's actually going to flow a little bit better, I think. So anyway, I had a really good day, actually. So I did, I was on Ember this morning, which was, if you do not follow Better Than Ember, you need to, because she is incredible. She has some of the best shows on, and she also has this one. It used to be Hot Topics, where we get on and talk about topics, but now it's called Learn Together Live, and it's really, really interesting because we'll dig into like science and history and a whole bunch of stuff like that. That honestly, I've probably learned more of her stream since December than I have in quite a while, on especially new stuff that I'm not super well versed in. And then after that, I had Politicality, which is the show on the Kentucky Atheist on Thursdays for politics. Anyone who knows me, you know I have been involved in politics for years and years and years. Hold on. So I've been involved in politics. Hi, Tori. For years and years and years, and the person that I work with, I started working with them about 14 years ago. Oh, wow, it's been 14 years. About 14 years ago, I wanted to kind of follow in his footsteps and do kind of the same thing and do political, but I was never that confident to do it. And on top of that, I was in college and doing multiple things and raising my kids, and I just couldn't do it. Finally, it got to the point that I was just, like I've said on here before, my intention when I originally got, what? I'm sorry, my dog's whining at me. It was never really my intention when I got on YouTube to do live streams. I never actually really considered it ever, actually, until I basically got asked to do one, and I was just like, oh, okay. And so now my channel has turned. Hi, Ember. Go pass out. We need sleep. And so it ended up to where I ended up actually doing a lot of lives. So I was planning. Hi, Kelly. And I was planning on doing my crafting videos and stuff more, and ended up doing more live streams, which I mean, life kind of comes at you fast, but whatever. um, and there's been some recent shenanigans, not the fun kind, unfortunately, that basically put me into a position to be able to do that have my dog just chomped down on something that she's not supposed to have. Stop it. Excuse me. Kelly says, I never considered doing YouTube at all. Damn you, Seth. If I knew Seth before this, he'd probably talk me into getting on too. um, and so it never lined up that I could do a political show, but with recent shenanigans and also shenanigans with the government and all that stuff, I ended up being in. Hi, Ash. How are you? I ended up being in a position to be able to co-host Politicality, and so now I have a political show that I absolutely love. I was trying to get the episode uploaded onto my channel today, but it does not look like that's going to happen. It's probably going to be in the next 1 to 2 days. So I'm hoping that. Hi, Maya. I'm hoping that if I can get Politicality up and going on my channel, uploaded to, hopefully it won't be too irrelevant because we covered Venezuela and the ICE shooting in Minneapolis and some other stuff. Did I watch Passengers? No, I did not. I don't have that many streaming services, and honestly, I don't watch a lot of TV and movies anyway. I just don't. I'm so out of the loop on a lot of stuff. I've come to realize with the damn show, I can only pay attention to maybe half of it, usually the last half, because the first half of it, I'm still trying to wake up and like function, so it's more background noise. But I always leave a like and I always share it, so there is that. Yeah, I need to watch more, but I have not watched a ton. I haven't watched a ton of. I don't remember the last time. What is the last movie I watched? I watched Wicked, but that's because I'm like a Wicked nerd. So I've loved Wicked since I saw the Broadway. I've been a huge fan. Hey, hi, Marin, how are you? Yeah, it's a surprise stream. I felt like doing a surprise stream. I don't know why. I'm knitting. If anyone wants to join, by the way, just send me a message on Discord and I will send you the link. And I'm sorry, Kip is being kind of crazy. My dog is being kind of crazy right now. I think she's got cabin fever. She's been sleeping all night. I was actually very surprised with Kip that she did not. She was a little rambunctious during Politicality, but not that much. I was kind of shocked. She did at one point start barking like mad, but that's because the. What are you doing? I'm sorry, she's being nuts right now. So yeah, that's how my day went. My day went okay. I have not knit as much as I wanted to. If I did, I would have been probably done or mostly done with this row by now, or this like chain of. So it's 5 squares, and I'm working down here. So this next one is going to be pink and red. So it's going to look just like this one, and this one's going to be solid pink. It's a super, super easy pattern, but it looks so cool. It really kind of crazy now. Yeah, it's one of those things. When the sun goes down, my dogs, they either pass out for the entire night or they go crazy. And Kip's kind of going a little bit nuts right now. I think part of it is I had gone to Sonic earlier today because my son wanted a drink. And so I was just like, okay. Got some food while I was there. I made the mistake of putting it on my desk and running to go grab a drink. I came back and my food was nowhere to be found. I do not know which one of the three of them did it. One of them did, though, and they should have known better. So that was, yeah, I lost my entire lunch because of that. Yeah, one of my dogs got the Sonic. I don't know which one it was because they were all kind of standing around, so I don't know which one of them did it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Pixie. Pixie's my little one, and she's the oldest, but she's also the um she's the boss out of all of them. She knows it. Um AJ says Phil pop up. I would do a crafting stream, but my crafting is glass engraving very loud. I completely understand that. I have some that are really, really loud that usually involve engraving or sanding. So, yeah, I can't do those. There's others I have to use big power tools for, which I can't fit in this little corner of my office. All right, Ash. Have a good night. And also have a good night to anybody else that I don't happen to see if you leave. I am trying my. Oh, hey, Uniform's here. That's awesome. I am so mad that that YouTube got rid of the usernames that we used to have. It's so annoying. But um what I miss? Do. Oh. Oh, that's awesome. I forgot about that. I forgot you were going to be on Ember. That's cool. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun one. If you're going to be on, although I would love to be on, that means I might be able to sleep in a little bit. Which means that I do not have to go to bed early, which is a good thing because it takes me, what's today's date? So I've got 2 days before I can refill my sleep meds. So, like, the next 2 days are going to be a little bit rough on me because I don't sleep very well, ever. So, we'll see how that goes. Kelly says Auntie would have given her furry nieces treats if he had asked me, don't steal from your mommy again. They steal from me on a constant basis. If I am not watching them, they will steal from me. Kip tried to drink my coffee this morning. My coffee. She's a goof. Yeah. She's a strange dog. I love her to pieces and I wouldn't trade her for the world, but she's odd. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, AJ. Yeah, I've got like wicked bad insomnia. And I've had it for I have not slept. I don't remember the last time I got a decent night's sleep, and I don't remember sleeping good for a extended period of time since like my teenage years. And I'm into my early 40s at this point. So I'm just like I thought I'd be able to sleep after I raised my kids, and now both of my kids are adults, and I'm still not sleeping. But oh well. But so hopefully in a couple days I'll kind of be able to reset over the weekend and hopefully get at least a night or two of decent sleep before I have to start next week and do the whole thing over again. Because I usually work Sunday nights, Monday mornings, and Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. It just kind of depends. I've got I get what I need to work on, and then I've got about 12 hours or so to get them done, and it usually only takes me like 2 or 3. So It's, do I want to wake up early and do them, or do I want to stay up a little bit late and do them? And it usually, honestly, just kind of depends on how my head is doing. um, hey, Nelisa, how are you? There we go. I don't know what's up uh with my streaming services being a little bit slow, but whatever. Um, Marin says, yeah, I haven't slept well my whole life. I'm sure it's a neurodivergent thing. That's one thing that kind of clued my doctor into the fact that I might have ADHD, is that I have not. My sleep schedule's all over the place, and on top of that, like just I don't sleep well. I've never slept well. I don't dream at all. Like I'll wake up and I'll know that I dreamt something, but the second I wake up and try to think about it, it's gone. So AJ says, uh, I had a cat that loved lettuce. Yeah. Oh my god, I had a so I had a cat. I had a cat for 15 years. Hang on a second, because you're gonna make me pull up a picture here. Let me find it. Do do do. Um, there he is. That is my cat. That was my cat. That was my cat Skunk. He was 17 and a half when he finally passed. Um, and he once jumped up, and he was a fat cat. Like, he was a little cat, but he was like lengthwise and everything. He was kind of little, but oof, like Kitty got kind of tubby at one point, and we're like, how is he getting so tubby? Like, we were watching what he eats and stuff. I was cooking something. I ran to my room to do something. I came back and I found my cat on top of the kitchen counter with his face in the butter. Past the meat, past the cheese, all that. He had face first in the butter. So yeah, my cat apparently liked butter, and I think that's what's going on with one of my dogs, because one of my dogs is getting a little chunky, so I think she's grabbing food from somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but it's somewhere. um, AJ says we should rename the atheist community to the ADHD community. Everyone has it. I know, right? But that's one thing. One of the things I love about community, and I love about this community specifically, is we tend to have the same ideals. We all believe in human rights, but there's things like, if someone else doesn't have ADHD, they probably know somebody who does, so they have some idea of what it feels like to have to deal with that on like a regular basis. And so it's one of those things that um it's one of those things that it creates almost a bigger sense of community, because, like, yeah, there's the atheist community, but we all know that there are also shitheads in the atheist community. Well, I don't really know if I would call them community, but we also know that there are atheist shitheads out there. But this community that I found is honestly some of the best people that I've ever found in my life, and apparently Kip agrees. So yeah, one, thank you very, very much to everybody who, one, has stopped by, and two, like, in this community, because you guys made me feel so welcome and so, like, just kind of embraced from the second that I stuck my neck out there, and I've gotten nothing but like positivity from like all of you guys and all of my friends. So maybe they don't have ADHD. Yeah. Maybe. I can think of a few reasons why it might be the way things are, but yeah, getting along is not a criteria for a community, but it's nice to have a community, or at least a large subset of it, that you do get along with. Because yeah, like I've met so many great people through this community, and most of the time, like there's nowhere I'd rather be. Like I absolutely love this community, and I love supporting my friends, and it's fantastic. I love it. So yes, and yeah, my so I have Kips running around outside in the backyard. Daisy is sleeping right here, dreaming and twitching up a storm. And I don't know where Pixie is. She's somewhere. Life with dogs, except the community crows. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, um, I had shown this the other day, but I'm going to show it to you again simply because it's a little bit easier, maybe, to see it on this one. So I have these two stitches. So I slipped this one like I would if I was purling it. I slipped that one as if I was knitting it for a stitch, but I don't do either one of those. And then this third stitch, I'll knit that one. And then I'll take these two that I slipped over, and kind of a weird angle here, but then I'll take those two and then just slip them over. So it takes all three of those down to just one. And that's how you start with where'd it go? Jeez. So for instance, on this one, this line right here was the hang on, let me switch my camera around. I'm sorry, it's driving me crazy. Okay. There, it drives me crazy trying to do. So right here, this is the first stitch, or the first row that I did. And then I did this row, and I just knit them straight across, like this. I literally just knit it straight across. But when you gather that stitch like that, it folds it up so it turned into a perfect square. So that's how you get the easy and nice and pretty looking squares on here. And it's super easy. I have you can just count it if you want, but I have the stitch marker. Oh yeah, yeah, I know, Tori. It's the same way. There's several theists in the community that I'm totally cool with. Most of my family is religious too, and I'm cool with them, provided the fact that they don't preach at me, which they don't, so we're good. But there's several theists in the community. Adrian Belgrave is another one that I have no issue with. There are some that I absolutely have an issue with, but yeah, I absolutely adore you, Tori. So, anyway, that's how. This is, like I have said, this is one of those blankets that's just super, super easy for people who are learning to knit. It's from a company called, and you probably can't read that now because, yeah, but it's from a company called Knit Picks. It's called the Hue Shift Afghan. It is, I think it's $42 for the entire set. So you get this book that has the pattern, and it actually has all four versions. So like they have this pastel version, which I've done. They have this one that I have not done, and this one that I haven't done. But I've also used this pattern on my mind just went completely blank. I've also used this pattern on yarn that I basically made a blanket for my dad. So you can reuse the pattern with different colors if you want. And I'm planning to do that for I knitted everybody in my family a blanket a while back. my youngest son was one of the first ones to get one, and that was probably 10 years ago now, and so he's wanting something that's a little bit more grown up. And I was like, yeah, sure, what do you want? And he wants one of these similar to this. So after I'm done with this, I've got like 2 other blankets that I need to do. And then I'm going to start working on his. Basically, his I'm aiming to have done by Christmas, which I get. Christmas is a year. Tori says, I'm definitely going to try to get a Team Flying Monkey shirt this week, just wasn't it? Yeah, I totally understand. And I absolutely love mine, actually. I've got it right here. So it was like anybody who knows anything about that, the second that I heard that, I was just like, I wonder if there's a t-shirt. And I couldn't resist. I find a ton of cool shirts on Amazon, and so do some of my friends. My friends, one of my friends found this one, which it says, every meal you make, every bite you take, I'll be watching you. It's from that dog meme. And the Sting song, I think it is. But that sums up my dogs for sure. Yeah. So yeah. That's pretty much what's been going on here. And I'm trying to figure out what Pixie is doing now. She's being weird. I need to get a puppy cam. I really do, and set up like over here so you guys can see what my crazy dogs are doing when I'm looking at them all strange. I have some of the weirdest dogs. I just dropped my stitch marker. This is one thing that I have noticed when knitting, especially something like this. So, I've been knitting for over 20 years at this point. I can do this with my eyes closed. I could literally pretty much do it in the dark. I don't need to see to do it. One thing that I have noticed is with my ADHD, one thing that I had a hard time with for a little bit on live streams, especially the first couple months I did them, was paying attention to the whole thing or through the whole thing, because like after a while, just my ADHD, and I kind of started to, yes, thank you. Yeah, it was the Police that did the song when Sting was the lead. But it would be hard sometimes for me to sit there and concentrate, because my attention would just kind of wander the way that it tends to do with ADHD. And then I finally figured out if I have something to do with my hands, which why I didn't think about this, because this is what I used to do in college all the time. If I can do something with my hands, then I can actually pay attention. So once I finally figured out that I could do that, there were a couple different things that I was doing. And then I finally was like, I can sit here and knit. Nobody can really see me knitting, other than the fact that I'll look down every now and then. And I can concentrate and pay attention. And so it kind of cracked me up, because it made me feel like I was back in college for a little bit when I realized that. I was like, holy crap, this is the same thing. Because one of my professors will always get on to me, because I'd be sitting there in the middle of class just knitting away. So yeah. And I haven't been in college in several years at this point. Hey, Eric, what's up? But let's see. So as far as news goes, apparently the FBI has taken over the investigation in Minneapolis and is not letting the state. I'm not exactly sure on my facts, so just FYI. But the group that like investigates stuff like this and recommends where there should be charges or not, basically won't let them touch it. So the federal government's trying to take over it, which of course you know exactly what they're going to find. Um, so there's that. The thing is we have the video of it. Most people in the country have probably seen it by now, and anybody with even a shred of decency knows exactly what happened on there. So there is that. It's one of those things of they can try to lie to us about it, but there's a lot of people they're not going to be able to lie to. So there is that. We also covered it on politicality, but Hilton Hotels, and I think it was in Minneapolis too, that they refused. Basically, they refused service to ICE agents who were showing up there to stay in their hotel. And good for them. I will, if I'm going somewhere and I can afford it, and a Hilton is there, I will definitely consider staying in a Hilton just because of that, because that made me smile. I am quite happy when I hear businesses and companies refusing service to ICE. Also, I think it's important to point out for anybody, ICE is not law enforcement and they have no jurisdiction whatsoever over U.S. citizens. Just FYI. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with that. I'm almost certain there is a gigantic protest that is being planned similar to No Kings at some point. I've seen a few people who I'm actually quite shocked that I'm actually kind of shocked that they're like, this is unbelievable. I can't believe they're doing this. And I'm like, the other stuff wasn't enough, but this is where you draw the line. If they're willing to draw a line somewhere, okay. Like at this point, like we need as many people as we can to try and get this regime like out of office and at least out of power. Good news though, at least in the House, the ACA subsidies passed in the House. It goes to the Senate next. I don't know what it's going to look like in the Senate. I haven't looked at what like the numbers are kind of shaping up like, but it did pass the House, so there is that. So hopefully, if it passes the Senate too, and it doesn't get, hopefully it won't get vetoed. Well, it'll probably get vetoed anyway, but if it can go through everything and get passed in law, then we will have our ACA subsidies back, which we need universal health care. We need Medicaid for all, but that's not going to happen in the next year or 2 years, probably. So I will take what we can get. My oldest son right now is on ACA, and he depends on it. So at the very least, I want him to have the subsidies for him. So at least he can have it. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch that go with that too. I haven't looked at it because after politicality, I kind of took a break from politics for the day, understandably. I try to stay out of politics at least for about 36 hours a week. Like there's about half a day on several days that I'll just kind of check out of politics and go do whatever the crap I want to elsewhere. Tori says, I've been trying to catch up on the whole Minnesota situation. There's so many layers to it. Yes and no. The fact of the matter that everybody needs to be aware of is it was a flat out murder. If you watch the video, what the ICE agent said happened did not freaking happen. What the administration is saying happened did not happen. I have been told by former law enforcement that the way that ICE agent reacted is the exact opposite of how you react to somebody unarmed in a moving car. That is just not, you don't do that. And it just goes to show that ICE agents aren't trained. They are very poorly trained at best, and they are trying to get them from everywhere. I mean, they're offering huge signing bonuses. Um, just they're offering gigantic signing bonuses just to try and get people because they don't have enough. They're trying to pull people from other um, federal law enforcement agencies, which, from what I've heard, is not going quite as well as they had hoped. I have heard over and over that the morale there is super low. They're having a hard time retaining people, even if they are getting some. So it's what you doing? Come on, Kip. You want to come up? Come here. Okay, she's not budging. So I've got I was gonna let you guys know for the next reasonably crafty and or non-blanket crafty sirens that I am doing. I can either finish painting my drawers that I had started painting, or well, I'll save that for reasonably crafty. I've got a couple different projects, so if there's a craft that you would like me to do, let me know, and I can look into doing that, or odds are I probably already have the stuff to do it. So I can put that together and do that too. Other than that, I really wanted to just get on here and talk about how excited I am about doing politicality. I'm so hyped. Like, it's a dream come true. It's the coolest thing in the world. And I could not be happier. I'm absolutely stoked. She's layers within the term, but I still need to catch up and find consistent reports for it. You can go for politicality. It's about halfway through. It's on the Kentucky Atheist channel. It's about halfway through that we talk about it, that we go through the reports of what the administration's saying and what very obviously happened. We don't show the video, but we do show a screenshot from it that shows pretty clearly what happens. What I recommend, because I've been asked this by other people too, as far as the videos of this, and I know they are hard to watch, I get that. I do recommend watching them all the way through at least once if you can find it. Or not if you can find it, of course you can find it, but I would recommend watching it through all the way at least once. That way, in multiple angles if you can, and if you can stomach watching it a couple times. But that's because that way you know what you saw. And so when they tried to tell you that she was trying to run over someone and there is clearly no one in front of her, you know that they're outright lying. I wouldn't trust anything that's coming out of the White House or the executive branch or the government right now on what's going on with that. It's very obvious that they are outright lying. Basically within minutes of it happening, Kristi Noem was out there saying she was a domestic terrorist. No, she wasn't. But yeah, it's important to stay informed. I've also found, if you can find some foreign news sources that you trust that do a good job on that, foreign news sources are also fairly decent. Kelly says, well, you're the right person for the job. Well, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. Foreign news sources work as long as you know, like they're as long as you know, like they're trustworthy and they're actually putting the story out there. I go with NPR and PBS NewsHour a lot. They're basically not run by the government at all now. They got all their funding cut, and they could use the funding, and frankly, PBS is kind of important. They are trying to replace Sesame Street with PragerU, which, keep in mind, PragerU basically had Christopher Columbus arguing that slavery was not that bad. So, yeah, we don't. PragerU is horrific, and that's a whole other tangent that I'm not going to get off on. Um, once you find a couple sources that you actually trust, I usually read through 3 or 4 versions of the same story, because if you do that, you can kind of suss out what are the established facts and then what is the bias, because everything's going to have a little bit of bias whether you want it to or not. Obviously, anybody who knows me knows where I'm coming from politically. They know where I'm coming from just a humanities standpoint. So yes, I'm biased, but people know where my bias is. So, so anyway, I just basically wanted to kind of gush about what, Kip? Kip, do you want to say something? Kip, do you want to say something? Okay. She's a little bit whiny. Excuse you. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to gush about. Oh Lord, here she comes. I just wanted to kind of gush about politicality for a minute because I'm so excited about that, and I wanted to knit a bit. Come on, come on, kid, come here, come here, come here. This is Kip. Hi, Kip. Yeah, this is my big girl. She's a sweetheart, and she is very licky. I don't know why she's so licky, but she is very, very licky. Neither of the other two are this licky. But she's my big girl, and I love her to pieces. And this is the one that's very opinionated, by the way. So yes, anyway, I just wanted to pop on here, and I wanted to do a live stream because I felt like doing a live stream, hence the surprise live stream. So I will probably see all of you tomorrow on various shows and various places around the internet. For her, no, because she eats the Rita says, do I have a toque for Kip to wear? No, I don't, because she would eat it. See what I mean with her being licky? Jeez. I love you, but you're licky. Yeah, she's licky just a little bit. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why. And yeah, she's very opinionated. She doesn't. I think that she doesn't understand me talking to a computer looking thing. And so she thinks I'm talking to her. So stop. So yes, this is Kip. This is what I have to deal with on a regular basis, especially when I'm not on camera. She's usually pretty good when I'm on camera compared to how she is off. So keep an eye out for another surprise live stream. I will probably do one sometime this weekend just for the heck of it. And until then, I will have politicality uploaded as soon as I can get my hands on it. So yeah, and I will see you guys. Oh, hang on. I need to learn to be slightly more organized with this. Because I am not that organized yet. All right. Bye, guys.